Hey, how's it hanging? My name's JT. Had a little experience yesterday that I'd kind of
The caption says, "This is why car dealerships can't sell cars in 2026."
like to share with people and just kind of let you know people know what's going on.
Yeah.
Some of you might know that in August there's going to be 3.1 million repos. They're going to be put on the market.
Jeez.
The market's going to crash
Hmm.
in the car industry, and didn't really understand that. But after yesterday, I understand it now. It was a rainy day. I've been putting it off for a while now, and decided that I was going to buy a pickup. All right. So that being said, I found one. I've been looking at it. It's sexy. It's sexy.
Yeah, they real nice. Yeah.
I had a crush on it.
That's
We'll
right.
say that. All right.
Yeah.
So called him up and told him what the deal was. Told him I had a crush, and he said, "Well, come on in." I said, "No,
No.
I ain't gonna do that." I said, "I want to work the deal over the phone." And he's like, "Oh, okay. You gonna do credit app?" I said, "I've got my own. I'm pre-approved."
That's smart. That's smart. Always call over the phone, especially well, now. I don't mind going in and actually getting the quotes and getting them to give me the paper, and then I'll be like, and then I shop around with that because it gives you somewhere to at least start. Because then when you go to the next dealer, because you want to negotiate it down, and then whatever you negotiate, go ahead and tell them, well, let me print that out, let me bring it back home, let me talk it over with my family, whatever. Even if you don't got a family, just say that. And then now you done negotiated this down, and then you have this to bring to the next dealer, and then they have to either match that or go lower, and then you can just keep trickling that down, and you end up getting a good deal. It's worth it to do that little bit of extra work on the front end to save yourself some money on the back end. Y'all, before we get back into it, we got a lot to review here. I won't be doing too much chiming in, but if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it's literally just a click. It's literally just a click, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype as well.
All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. How come you don't want to come in? I said, because I don't want you. No,
Right.
I don't. Been there, done that for 40 years, man. And
Right.
I don't want you asking me every 5 minutes when I need a bottle of water. I'll stand here at my desk and work the numbers on my own way and drink beer. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them down to a certain price, and I said, okay, let's do the numbers. Him haul around there. They come back, and I was already doing the numbers on what the price was and everything.
Yeah.
And so without interest, the truck was going to be with all the money down and all that. Have you? All right. With no interest, truck payment was going to be $615.32. I'm reading on a cheat sheet here. I just let me write it down yesterday.
That's right.
Anyway, and then with the amount of interest that they was charging me, which was freaking high, payment was going to be $731.62.
Wow.
I was like, that don't add up.
Now I'm gonna pause it right here. I'm gonna finish the rest of this video right
man.
after this. But seriously, I have to add my commentary to this, guys. This is why people aren't buying cars as much as they used to. And I'm not gonna come on this video and say people aren't buying cars at all, but a lot of people are pulling out of the car market across the board. Hence why we're seeing a massive drop in sales, unit sales over the past couple years, guys. Right now, the U.S.
Yeah, we got to move on to something else. That dude was telling the story too slow. I speeded it up. It was still going too slow.
This 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E has been on this dealer's lot for
The caption says car dealers can't sell overpriced new cars.
352 days. They've discounted it 9,000.
Oh, wow. The 2025 Ford Mustang has been on the market for almost a year, 352 days.
Dealer's lot for 352 days. They've discounted it $9,000 online. What's going on here?
Well, obviously, it's been sitting way too long. The dealer's been paying floor plan interest, and floor plan interest is simply the amount that the bank charges the dealer to finance their inventory. And there's a daily rate for that, and they're paying it, and it's probably in this case $350 a month. that it's costing the dealership to have the car sit there.
Oh.
And the fact that it's been there 352 days, you could probably walk up to them and say, hey, I've got a birthday card for this vehicle. And, well, if you might lower the price a tad bit more, I could just take that off your hands, and you won't have to buy a cake for its birthday. Just remember, car dealers don't like having aged vehicles on their lot. They cost them way too much money between floor plan interest and things that go wrong for whatever reason. Batteries go dead, tires get flat spotted, rodents decide it's a new community that they should move into. So when you see a vehicle sitting on a dealer's lot, dealer has to become much more motivated to make that disappear, and most dealers will.
Great information. Great information. The floor plan interest. I had never heard of that. But see, we can reverse engineer this. You can reverse engineer this for when you go into negotiations, especially if you know that there's a vehicle and maybe the new year is about to come up and you know it's the previous year or maybe a couple previous years. You know they're playing floor plan interest. Like they said, the battery could die, the tires can just go flat from it just sitting there. And so you can reverse engineer this to understand the dealer's pain points because, of course, they want to understand your motivations. They want to understand what's driving you to want to need a car so that they can then leverage that to be able to capitalize off of you ultimately. But if you reverse engineer this and you know some of the dealer's pain points and some of their motivations, you can reverse engineer it to you ultimately getting a deal, like in the example of that Mustang. And they already discounted it almost $10,000, and you know they're still paying interest on it. And people going to be looking at the newer Mustangs, and so it's just going to get, the longer it takes, it's going to be harder and harder to sell. And so now you can use that to your advantage to ultimately be able to even discount it further. And now instead of the traditional trope, as far as leave the dealer, it's already losing all this value. Now you can actually not have so as much as liability from taking on this liability, and you can actually somewhat make it work for you, and it can actually be more of an asset than what it typically would be, especially when you buy it brand new from the dealer. The caption says car dealerships are panicking right now.
Car dealerships are panicking. They didn't expect for this to go like this. They're overflowed. They can't sell the cars. And it's not a surprise. People are actively choosing to keep their old cars. They would rather deal with an old car than sign up for financial stress.
The U.S. car market is collapsing right before our eyes. Dealerships across the country are in crisis mode. Prices are falling faster than anyone expected. Massive discounts, record-breaking rebates, zero interest financing, and yet no one's buying.
I'm always alarmed at how many cars are at the dealership. It's honestly kind of overwhelming a little bit. You know, you're going in there and it's like, no, I want the base regular model. And he goes, oh, it's at the other side. He goes, we'll pull it up for you.
Yeah.
You got to wait 30 minutes. It takes them 30 minutes to go find the car and then pull it up for you. That's how many cars there are.
And you go, what is that, a sunroof?
Yeah.
They go, no,
it's a moonroof.
Is that the base package?
Yeah, he goes,
Car dealerships are panicking.
Caption says car dealerships can't sell cars, now they're panicking.
These are some of the slowest selling vehicles in 2026. Vehicles that get stuck at dealership lots they can't sell. Some of them have been sitting for years. 2023s in some situations still sitting at dealership lots.
I think it's pretty obvious why this car right here is not selling, guys. $111,000 a month is what they're asking for this car right here. And while that is MRSP, still, that is insane. And even when they talk about the markdown that they technically put on this vehicle, they're talking about it's going to be $92,000. And they're trying to sell it at 84 months for $1,500 a month. You cannot make this up. There are so many cars that are not selling on these dealership lots. It's insane, guys. Let's check this out.
Still sitting at dealership lots. This first one is pretty obvious. It's a Jeep Grand Wagoneer. They are some of the slowest selling vehicles in the market. Some sit for over 400 days on dealership lots.
Wow.
They're way too expensive. They used to be in 2022, 2023. The Grand Wagoneers were literally 120 to 100.
Yeah, that is very expensive, man. Even the markdown price is still going to pay over 90 grand. And by the time you pay all that interest, man, who knows what you end up paying, depending on what your interest rate is.
$40,000. Now Jeep's trying to say, okay, now they're 70, 80, but still it's too expensive for a Jeep. They're trying to make a luxury Jeep. It just doesn't work. Who wants to buy a luxury Jeep? Well, not that many people. This is why they're one of the slowest selling vehicles in the market today. This next one is no surprise, the new Volkswagen ID Buzz. It has been a complete flop in the United States. They don't even deliver them anymore here because no one is buying them. They're $65,000 to $75,000 for an all-electric Volkswagen van. You would think it's going to be 30 or maybe 40 grand at most. No, it's $75,000. And that's not even the worst part. Guess what? The range, 234-mile range. That's what the full battery and that's what the sticker says. So in real life, you're getting half. Especially if you're traveling on the highway. EVs are worse in the highway than they are in the city. And we're talking about a Volkswagen van that you can't even go city to city with.
I'm sorry, this car looks like it's straight out of Futurama or a Transformers.
Yeah, this is insane, man. This is insane. The caption says car dealerships are going to go out of business.
I always laugh when people say that car dealerships are going to go out of business. Who's going to fix your car when it breaks? Who's going to keep it maintained? Who's going to buy your old car? These are things that folks aren't thinking about when they think they can do without the dealership. I always laugh when people say that car dealerships are going to go out of business. Who's going
to... So I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is your sign.
The caption says, I threatened to sue the car dealership and settled within 24 hours.
Trying to go be a Karen, because why am I getting a settlement from the car dealership that I got my car from? Not due to the car. Love the car. It's great. It's for other reasons. I threatened them yesterday, which were very valid, incredible threats, and we settled today. And the settlement check will be in the mail by next week. I'm not going to get into detail about it.
Why?
There was a girl on here that said something along the lines of just like sue people. And I absolutely agree, especially as a lawyer. Because I had my girl gang of lawyers were about to do some.
Apparently she's a trademark attorney. She's saying just sue people and they just. So keep in mind, this is an attorney, regular people. She probably has something valid to sue about. I don't know why she isn't disclosing it.
You got to change things up. Sometimes when business...
The caption says when business is slow at a used car dealership, you have to change it up.
It's a little slow at the car dealership. You got to change things up. I have been low on inventory for a long time now, and business has been slow this month. The only good thing about business being slow is it has allowed me to get caught up on some of my inventory issues. For a long time, it was all I could do to fill this front row. Now I've got the front row and the back row almost full, and I've actually got it too full. I'm a little short on space to put one car. So now I am going to rearrange this whole front lot here. I've just got this super nice Honda CR-V ready for sale. This is 2011.
I would be dreading have to do that. That would be the part of having a used car dealership or just a car dealership in general. I would dread having to do. Always having to rearrange a lot and move things around and put them in an order. Then you sell something. Now you got to rearrange everything. Man, I would hate to do that.
I've showed this one in another video, but man, this thing's nice. So I'm gonna put it right here on the corner where it is easily visible, and I'm moving it down, and I'm gonna move this whole row here down. You can see I've got a large space here now, and I'm gonna try to make room for one more car. The two most popular SUVs in the world, the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4, are going right here on the end where they're easily visible. All right, the lot is moved around. Now it's time to check a couple things out. We got to check our line here. Make sure the front ends are lined up properly. It's a little bit...
Okay, hold on. So when things are slow at the car dealership, because he was saying he was going to give us some business tips about what to do when things are slow. I guess what he's saying is it's just time to move things around. So things are slow in your business, which means that I'm guessing sales are slow. And the way you stay productive, because imagine you got a car dealership business and you don't got no business coming in, and you just you're there, you're just trying to find something to do. You just start rearranging cars. His description, it says business has been slow in June, but it has allowed me to get more inventory ready. The lot is looking fuller. It's just a matter of time before sales start flowing. Very optimistic, but I don't know if when business is slow, I don't know if you get more inventory. I don't know if that's how that works. But it's tough. It's a lot of, when you really think about it, it's a lot of logistics to owning a car dealership. I mean, even when they start to get dusty, you got to clean them off again, wax them again. It's a lot of logistics. I would say, like me in particular, if things are moving slow, my first priority wouldn't be to just reorganize the cars and make sure the nose of the cars are all perfectly lined up and all that type of stuff. That wouldn't be best use of my time. My first priority, and the thing that I will put all my focus on, is how do I start getting more sales, getting some money coming in, because you're buying more cars. In my mind, that's just more overhead, right? Maybe not, but again, I'm gonna be focused on making some money, getting some sales. Where are some other places I can post these cars to make it more visible, get more eyes on them? Because I only need one person to buy it, right? That's what I would be focused on. What can I do to make them stand out more? Not just putting, I guess that's what he's doing, but I would need something more. Do I need to get an inflatable flaily tube? What do I need to do? The caption says, now is a great time to trade or sell your vehicle.
If you're the owner of a used vehicle and you've been toying with the thought of trading your vehicle into a dealership or selling it on your own, right now might be the best time in years to do just that. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. If you're new to my channel, my name's Bill. I'm a car buying expert, and I love saving you money at the dealership. Dealerships typically get their used inventory from one of two places: the pre-owned auction.
Wow, a car buying expert. I'd never heard of that. There's all type of niches that you can get into now.
At the dealership. Dealerships typically get their used inventory from one of two places: the pre-owned auction, or they're going to get it directly from us, the consumer, when we trade in our vehicle at the dealership. Right now, most dealerships are complaining because the prices are so high at auction, they can't get any quality inventory and make any money off it. Of course, that's going to force the dealership to be more aggressive on getting units and inventory from us. So this is our opportunity to take advantage of the situation and to use this as leverage. So before you just accept whatever the dealership tells you is your trade offer, do some homework. Find out from all of the major car buying venues what your vehicle is worth. You could go right online and get an instant quote from CarMax, from Carvana. They'll buy your vehicle directly from you, pay off the vehicle if you have a payoff, give you the difference, and let you just walk away from the sale. You don't have to purchase anything. Now, those of you with relatively new vehicles that don't need any repairs, why aren't you just selling that vehicle on your own? The average trade value to retail value, trade being what the dealership will offer you and retail what they're going to sell it for, is a $5,000 difference. Did you hear me? If your vehicle is retail ready, meaning it needs no repairs and all you have to do is do a detail, why give that $5,000 to the dealership? Because that's all they're going to do. They're going to do a safety inspection, a detail on that vehicle, and then price it up $5,000 more and put it out right on the lot. Why not put it up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and put that $5,000 that you were going to give the dealership in your pocket? Now, I know some of you salespeople are going to jump in the comments and say that's not true. If you trade in, you get a tax trade-in credit. That could be huge savings on the taxes. And you're right, but all too often the dealership lowballs your trade in the amount of the tax savings to act like they're doing something for you, but they're really just stealing your tax savings and lowballing your trade number. So get multiple offers, find out what your vehicle is really worth, and when you've negotiated the price of theirs down to where you're comfortable, let them know about your trade and see if their value compares to what everybody else is willing to give you. I hope this was helpful, guys, and for more tips, tricks, and hacks, just...
Yeah, my thing is, when people just say go and sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace and all this type of stuff, I mean, for one, you got to come at it from the convenience aspect. How long is it going to take for you to ultimately be able to sell it, as well as the convenience of having to continuously keep meeting up with people who are going to waste your time, especially if you have a newer vehicle? What are the odds you're just going to run into somebody on Facebook Marketplace that, for one, has all the money, right? Let's say you're trying to sell your car and you know it's worth 45 grand. You're trying to sell it for 40 grand. What's the odds you're going to really come across somebody that's serious on Facebook Marketplace that'll buy it for 40 grand and they're just going to give you 40 grand right there? As well as he's mentioning, you can charge more than the dealer. I think that makes it even more friction when you sell it on Facebook Marketplace. If then you're even charging higher prices or you're charging dealer prices, I think in most cases, then people would just go to the dealer. That's just how I think. I don't know. I don't really do the Facebook Marketplace stuff. I just would think that it ain't as easy as he's making it seem. Like you just put it on Facebook Marketplace and it's gone in a couple days. I feel like you could have your thing sitting and you could just waste a lot of time. So, I feel like you also may be paying for convenience by just going to the dealer. You guarantee. I think it'd be smarter to just make the dealers compete with each other. If you're going to do a bunch of different steps, just do it with the dealers. Maybe get the quotes, like he said, from Carvana, CarMax. You have that as your base. Then you can take that to one dealer, say, this is what they're looking to give me. If you don't give me whatever I'm looking for, I'll just go ahead and go through them. It's just, and then they'll be like, okay, well, they say they're going to pay 39. We'll pay 41. Then you say, okay, can you put that in writing? And let me think about it. Get it in writing. Take it to another dealer. See what they're going to say first. Then say, oh, well, nah, I can't do that. I'm going to just go to the other dealer down the street. They said they were going to give me 41. Here's the paper. Oh, we're going to do this. Put it in writing. Take it to the next one. See how much you can get it closer to where you need it to be. Because like you said, regardless if the used car market, if used cars are more valuable because the auction prices are going up, then that means that these dealers are going to be competing for your used car because they need it. During COVID, used cars were super high. And so dealers were paying very good prices for used cars. They were paying great prices and, even having very good trade-in value. So you just got to pay attention to how things are fluctuating in the market and then try to time it accordingly, in my opinion. The caption says car market manipulation.
Car market is absolutely shit right now. Back in 2023, when I wanted to buy a GT2 RS and I couldn't afford it, they were $350K. So I'm like, you know what? Let me save up $350K. I saved up $250K. Got a GT3 a year ago. Now, GT2 RSs are $700K. So I gotta save up another 3 fucking years. SVJ was $700K like 7 months ago.
Hey guys, so I wanted to do a round 2 of this because
the caption says the EV car market is going to crash hard.
After looking at all the comments and how big the video's got in terms of views, I need to clear up some things on this because I think there's a bit of a fundamental misunderstanding on what I'm talking about in general. So there has been a culmination of steps that have caused this EV situation to crash in the way that it's crashing, and it is crashing. I've spoken to about 15 people in the comments that work at dealerships that have told me in confidence of what's going on behind closed doors. The people in the comments that are fighting for EV, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I'm speaking to people in dealerships that are having these issues with EVs currently, and there is no contingency plan in place to deal with this drop. There isn't anything. I'm talking big manufacturers, like the biggest. There is no plan here, okay? So that's what I mean about how the process of collapse is going to take place, is because they haven't had a contingency plan and they don't really know how to deal with this. They didn't think this was going to be an issue. I think they assumed it was going to be a very easy transition with government implementation. That's not the case. For example, if you look at JLR, Jaguar specifically, they've made a commitment to go full EV, I believe, May or March this year. I think that's, you know, they're basically signing their death warrant. As far as I'm concerned, they are signing their death warrant. Any manufacturer that thinks it's going to survive by fully transitioning to an EV product is, I think, delusional. But I'm not just saying that it's because it's not viable.
Yeah. Well, what are you saying?
What I'm also saying is because the infrastructure didn't keep up with the pace of which they were trying to sell. Also,
exactly, it's an infrastructural problem. Listen, I guess it's a good idea, EVs, but the infrastructure, like he said, hasn't kept up. There's not enough charging stations. It's dang near not even convenient unless you basically just have a charging station at your home. It's not enough locations with charging stations. Some do. And then a lot of times you even have to compete with people for charging stations, as well as the friction between a charging station. There's people who take hours for them to charge their cars. And so again, if it's not convenient and you're going to a charging station that's out and about and it's not conveniently at your home where you can just park your car and go home and let it charge while you're at the house, you got to actually charge it somewhere else at another location. That's super inconvenient, and you may be competing with somebody else who's charging it, and you got to wait for them to charge it. And it's almost like you're stuck, you know, and it's just, for one, it's just not practical just in general. It's not enough charging stations, and it's just so much friction. If I go and put some gas in my car, I can have some gas in my car in a couple minutes, and then I'm good for the week or two. And then I can just go and refill my car again in a few minutes. It's not the same with the electric vehicles. It's just inconvenient, and the infrastructure hasn't facilitated it, as well as the technology is just not good enough. Honestly, it shouldn't take hours to recharge a car. You need to get the technology to where you can charge your car the same way we can go and pump our gas in a couple minutes, and then it's at a full charge. If it's not there, then people aren't dumb. They're not just going to do it just because it's trendy. If it's inconvenient, why would they do it? I done seen people who done missed job interviews, work, all type of things because their car wasn't charged. Not to mention, imagine you try to take a road trip or something. It's too inconveniencing. It just doesn't make sense. But y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And then also, if you want to become a member of the channel, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, where it shows people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content, and you would get exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.